on your home lake, what is something that you should do every single day you go fishing? Hey, good morning, guys and girls. Let's look at a tip. Let's look at our catch of the day for March 27. March 27, about used up, one of the greatest spring months that we'll ever have. Oh, look at our scripture for today. Philippians 4:4. Philippians 4:4. This is like one of my cement block verses in the Bible. It's one that I stand up on and shout about. This is great. Be full of joy in the Lord always. I'll say again, be full of joy. There's a lot of Bibles that says that a little bit more simpler than that. It says, rejoice in the Lord always. Philippians 4:4, rejoice in the Lord always. Let me tell you how important that verse was for me. I actually had that verse embroidered on the back of my tournament shirt. Philippians 4:4, rejoice in the Lord always. And it was just something I wanted to remind myself of constantly. And let me tell you, how my wife used that shirt sometimes. I've fished tournaments for 54 years, ever since I was a senior in college. And I've had a lot of good tournaments, but I've had a lot of miserable tournaments, terrible tournaments, bad tournaments. And you have a tournament where you're maybe up in the top 6 or 7 in a tournament after a couple of days, and you bomb out the last day, and you're planning on winning $15,000 or $20,000. You win a big fat zero because you finished just like 1 or 2 places out of the money. Or you're up there, and you got a chance to win, like up on the Mississippi River, and you get caught behind a lock, and you're a big stringer of fish, you don't get to weigh in, and you drop from 3rd place down to 17th place or 9th place or something like that. Somebody else wins the tournament instead of you, on and on and on. What my wife used to do when we fished those tournaments, and I had a really bad tournament, and I'm not saying she did this more often than not, but she did it quite a bit, it seems like, is I'd just be so upset when the tournament was over, and we'd load that boat up, and we'd get in that truck, and I'm going to drive till midnight, or I'm going to drive till 4 o'clock in the morning all the way home, and I'd just be driving. I just wouldn't have the radio on. I wouldn't be talking to her, and she'd sit there and sit there and sit there. She'd answer me something. I'd say, yeah, no, yeah. I wouldn't. She'd talk about, what went wrong in the tournament, or talk about, well, wasn't it great to see so-and-so make a check? He hadn't made a check all year. Oh, yeah, good. And I guess I only had about one friend left in the world. I was about to lose her. She would take my tournament shirt. She would take my tournament shirt and hang it over the rearview mirror in my truck. So every time I looked up, I'd see, rejoice in the Lord always. And I wasn't rejoicing. I was not rejoicing. Let's read. I don't know. I might have written about that. Let's see what I wrote about on that. It's really easy for me to have fun fishing. It's so easy that I can have a lot of fun even when the fish aren't biting. I bet you can do that too. But what about enjoying the things that we don't like? What about having fun during the difficult times? Can we really rejoice in the Lord always? You bet we can. To me, joy is a purposeful attitude that I try to put on every day. I'm resolved to make it a great day no matter what. It is a purposeful attitude that I put on every single day. Do I succeed every day? Absolutely not. Do I have bad days? Of course I do. But I'm sure of this. I am sure of this. Anyone can develop this quality of joy. It is a quality, it is an attitude that you purposely develop. It's like learning how to shoot free throws. Shoot a lot of free throws, you're going to become a better free throw shooter. You purposely develop an attitude of joy every single day. Get into the habit every day of asking God to help you do it. Now, go out there and have fun today. Here's our tip for today, our fishing tip for today. On your home lake, make sure that you fish at least one new spot every day. I grew up on Lake Tenkiller. I know it like I know the back of my hand. And yet I always went out there and thought, I'm going to fish someplace new every day that I never fished. Now, here's something that I'll throw in here for you 21st century fishermen. Go out on those lakes that your home lake that you know a lot about, and make sure you find one new place that looks good to you with your electronics. When I wrote this, when I talked about it, we didn't have near the electronics we have today. So make sure you find one new spot with your electronics that you've never fished before.